I am ready to get down and dirty and talk about these 15 categories. So let's go, guys.
Too many things, too many things, too many things, too many things.
There's too many choices!
Wowzers, too many things, so many things, too many movies, so many choices. My ADHD brain is overwhelmed.
I'm sorry it's taken me so long.
Yeah, sorry it took me so long.
Sorry it's taken me so long to get this video out. I was trying to wrap my brain around all of these nominations. Yes, some were fairly predictable. Others, not so much. There were some very welcome surprises and also some very shocking snubs, and I want to talk to you guys about it today. I also want your opinion on all 15 of these categories, so please make sure you like, subscribe, and put your feedback in the comments. The question I asked today is, will these predictions influence the Oscars? In my heart of hearts, I want to say no, yet I know that that's not true. Award shows that happen before the Oscars do impact Oscar voters, and so depending on who gets nominated, it gives them that kind of burst of energy that they need. Marketing's willing to put more money behind them, and if they give a really good acceptance speech at one of these award shows, that also can go a long way. I wanted to not let these nominations influence my Oscar picks, but I think it's going to. Will you guys let it impact your Oscar choices? Some of you may have read articles, heard rumblings, watched other YouTubers talking about the new Globe board. How's that going to influence the nominees? How that influences the winners? How if the old board was still around, so-and-so would have gotten in, old board versus new board, blah, blah, blah. And so I decided, you know what, my ADHD brain, I want to research it. I want to figure it out for myself. So I did. Here's my ADHD synopsis of what happened with the Golden Globes. Up until June of 2023, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association ran the Golden Globes. Now you'd think the word foreign in there that they would be, I don't know, diverse. Not so much. So there's a ton of outcry in 2022 because they had 85 members in the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, which crazy that 85 people can influence the film community as much as they can, but that's a whole different topic. Of those 85 members though, 0 were black. Yeah, 0. So, okay. They heard the outcry, they disbanded the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, they kicked out all the problem members. Now they didn't get rid of the whole old board, they kept like 1/3 of like the old voters. But they've now increased membership, so 2/3 of the new membership is completely brand new. And the membership is now 334 people. So we're getting better, still crazy to think 334 people can decide so much fate of people's film careers. But the awesome part about those 334 members, 47% of them are female. 60% of them self-identify as being racially or ethnically diverse. The breakdown of that is like 26.3% Latin, 13.3% Asian. You got 11% black, which, so out of 334 members, I don't know, it's like roughly 39. My cousin Brandon would know right off the top of his head, but I digress. And then 9% are Middle Eastern. So this really helps the international community, yet it also expands the list of nominees and what we're seeing. And a diverse group of thought is always better for everyone. This is only the second year of the new board, so I think we're going to see it, improving as time goes on. As we talk through these nominees, I will say there are a few of them that pundits are like, oh, that must still be the old board having influence. I don't know. With the old board only having 1/3 of the votes, I don't know how much influence they can actually have. So love to hear your guys' opinions, but I am ready to get down and dirty and talk about these 15 categories. So let's go, guys. I'm going to take them in a little bit different order than the way they made the nominations, and I want to do that because I want to save kind of the best for last and also talk about our predictions along the way. So first 2 categories we're going to talk about are the female and male actor in a supporting role, and these are in any motion picture. So for those of you new to like the Golden Globes, unlike the Oscars, they actually split most of their categories into musical comedy and then drama. And instead of just 5 nominees, they do 6 nominees. Let's start out with the best performance from a male actor in a supporting role in any motion picture. Those nominees are Yuri Borsova from Anora, Kieran Culkin from A Real Pain, Edward Norton, A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce, The Brutalist, Jeremy Strong from The Apprentice, and Denzel Washington from Gladiator 2. This category had a lot of surprises for me. First off, I only got 3 out of 6 right, so sounds like I got to be watching my supporting performances better. My first shocker was, where was Clarence Macklin from Sing Sing? He has been on people's locked down top 5 list for the Oscars for months now. He recently won the Gotham Award for Best Supporting Performer, and at the Gothams, they combined men and women together, and he won that award. Here, he's not even on the list. Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice, very well deserved. Jeremy Strong is a great actor. For those of you who have not watched HBO's Succession, I highly recommend watching it. They've won the Golden Globe for Best TV Drama. That's another reason my ADHD brain cannot handle the Globes. TV, movies, it's all so much, but I digress again. Yuri Bosovo and Guy Pearce on this list, Yuri from Anora and Guy Pearce from The Brutalist. Everybody had talked about them, but they were kind of on the bubble. Here, they've been pushed in. I think we're going to see a lot of marketing and more people adding them to their list, especially Guy Pearce, I can see. Kieran Culkin, he is the favorite. He has won the New York Film Critics, the Astras, National Board of Review, and I think right now Gold Derby odds have him at like 4-1, so he is definitely the favorite. And the one that's no shocker, I don't think he's going to win, but Denzel Washington for Gladiator 2. I guess Gladiator 2 kind of has to take their nominations when they can. The predictions I'm going to give tonight are my gut initial reaction to the nominees. Without overthinking it, which I can do a lot with my ADHD, but going with just looking at the nominees, knowing how I feel about what I've read, what I've seen, I'm going to give you my predictions. So in this category, I still have to stick with Kieran Culkin for the win on this one. Now moving into Best Performance by a Female Actor in a Supporting Role in a Motion Picture, we've got Selena Gomez for Amelia Perez, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones, The Brutalist, Margaret Qualley for The Substance, Isabella Rossellini, Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. This category, guys, I did a little better. 5 out of 6 right. I'd be shocked if anybody got 6 out of 6 right. The surprise nominee on this list, Margaret Qualley from The Substance. That's amazing. The Substance needed these nominations. They need to be picking up these noms in these film awards prior to the Oscars to build up momentum. It has so much social media buzz. People love it, but it also is a body horror, weird last third of the movie that might be a little too much for Oscar voters to go for. So take the nominations when they can. Margaret Qualley in The Substance. If you guys picked her in your list, nice job. I did not. I did not think the Globes would go there, but they did. The Globes have shown that they love The Substance. The Amelia Perez nominations, very well deserved. My concern is, will they split votes and neither of them will win? I mean, they're not because, to be honest, we all know who I think is going to win. Ariana Grande. Hashtag Grande Oscar win. But I get it. This is the Globes. The Globes are different. There's a lot of talk that Globe voters won't know what to do because if they give it to Ariana Grande, do they have to give it to Cynthia Erivo, vice versa? So they may end up completely not giving it to either. They might give it to both of them. I don't know. Felicity Jones in The Brutalist was a great choice. And Isabella Rossellini, that is one where people will say, oh, that's the old Globes coming in because she's, Hollywood film royalty. Yes, that might be part of it, but she also provides an amazing performance. All 6 of these women, very deserving. Has been a lot of split decision in the supporting actress category from the awards prior, way more than on actor. As we could see, Kieran Culkin was the favorite. He's still the favorite. But when it comes to actress, they've been split. Sunday night at the Astros, there was a tie between Zoe Saldana and Ariana Grande. New York Film Critics Circle, they gave the Supporting Actress Award to Carol Kane from Between the Temple, and the National Board of Review gave their Supporting Actress Award to Elle Fanning from A Complete Unknown. Complete Unknown will release Christmas Day. Hoping to see that then. Should be pretty exciting. But actress, I would say that the film community does not have a favorite. I, however, have a favorite Ariana Grande is who I'm going with for that one. The next category I want to talk about is Best Screenplay. I love this category. These nominees are all very good. I will say this is one I've continued to rack my brain on. So I'd love to hear your opinion on Screenplay. The nominees for the Golden Globe were Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, Sean Baker for Honora, Brady Colbert and Mona Fastfald for The Brutalist, Jesse Eisenberg for A Real Pain, Coralie Farjat for The Substance, Peter Strawn for Conclave. This category is a really tough one to pick the winner. I picked 4 of the 6 nominees, however picking a winner is like tossing a coin. We also have to remember it's the Golden Globes, right? Will actors acknowledge other actors? So will they give it to Jesse Eisenberg for A Real Pain? He wrote, produced, directed, and starred in this movie. I don't know, Sunday Night at the Astros, they gave him screenplay for comedy or musical. Drama went for Dune 2. New York Film Critics Association, they went Sean Baker for Honora. The Gotham Awards gave it to His Three Daughters, not even on this list. And then the National Board of Review for comedy or musical, they gave it to Sing Sing. And then they gave it to Mike Lee for Hard Truths for drama. So definitely a toss-up. The one I want to pick, and I know it's out there, but right now my gut tells me we've got to have another woman win. The movie is just out there, and the fact that they nominated her, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick her for the Oscars, but for the Globe win, I'm going with Coralie Farjat. So that's my pick on that one. The next category, Best Motion Picture in a Non-English Language, is one of the hardest categories to predict, especially if you're someone like me who has seen none of the films. My choices are going to be solely off of reviews and other film awards that have been given. So as I read the nominees, I will tell you guys which awards they've already won, so maybe that helps you make your decision. So here are the nominees for Best Motion Picture Non-English Language. All We Imagine Is Light by Sideshow and Janus Films. This one is a USA, France, India production. It was awarded Best International Film at Gotham and the New York Film Critics Circle. Amelia Perez by Netflix out of France. That won the Astra Award. The Girl with the Needle, distributed by Mumbai out of Poland, Sweden, Denmark. No wins there yet. I'm Still Here from Sony Pictures Classic out of Brazil. No wins there yet also. The Seed of the Sacred Fig, distributed by Neon, is a production from USA and Germany. That won the National Board of Review. The next nominee is Vermiglio from Sideshow and Janus Films out of Italy. That actually won the jury prize, so kind of like the Silver Star from the Venice Film Festival. Man Gang, I don't know. This one, to me, could be a toss-up. I picked 4 of the 6 nominees, which really isn't that hard considering 4 of the 6 have won some type of film award already this season. Picking 6 out of 6, there was no way I could do that. I mean, the 2 that haven't won awards, I've heard nothing but good things about them. The Girl with the Needle, I'm Still Here, have gotten rave reviews. They could surprise us. There for a while, The Seed of the Sacred Fig, people were talking about that as potentially being on the Best Picture list for the Oscars. Vermiglio won the jury prize at Venice. But I have to remember, this is the Globe board. The Globe is the one voting, and based on a couple nominations you'll hear about in a little bit, I've got to go with All We Imagine As Light for my winner. The next 2 categories we're going to go over are male actor and female actor in a lead role for musical or comedy. We'll start with the males first, not because females are more important. I mean, they are, but we won't get into that today. No, just kidding. I will actually say that I think the actress category is harder, so it gives me a little more time to ponder who I'm going to choose as my winner and tell you guys. But for the male actor in a musical or comedy, the Golden Globe nominees are Jesse Eisenberg for A Real Pain, Hugh Grant for Heretic, Gabriel LaBelle for Saturday Night, Jesse Plemons for Kinds of Kindness, Glenn Powell in Hitman, and Sebastian Stan for A Different Man. Category is another one that rocked my predictions world. I only got 3 of 6 right, and I'm surprised I actually got 3 right. I don't know who I'm going to pick because I haven't seen a lot of these movies, and none of these actors have won anything thus far. And there were some shocks in there for me. I mean, Kinds of Kindness, Jesse Plemons, I understand he's been nominated for Oscars, but that was just a very not talked about movie. I get it. People talked about Glenn Powell and The Hitman. I just didn't see it happening. Lo and behold, it did not pick Sebastian Stan for A Different Man, even though he's remarkable. I really thought too, though, the Globes, old or new board, and their love for Wicked, they would put Jonathan Bailey in. They did not, so that one kind of, honestly surprised me. Heretic, that was one that I picked only because I love Hugh Grant. People will say that's the old board and them just picking somebody popular and a well-known name. Every review I've read said that that movie is amazing. I cannot wait to see it. I pretty much thought, too, Saturday Night was dead from the way all the pundits were talking. I didn't think there was any way Gabriel LaBelle would get that nomination. He did. Jesse Eisenberg, I did see that one happening. I think that given how tough Screenplay is and the Globes will want to honor him, my pick is Jesse Eisenberg. Next category, female actor in a music or comedy. Here it is, guys. The nominees are Amy Adams, Night Bitch, Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon from Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison from Anora, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Zendaya for Challengers. I kind of rocked at this category, gang. I picked 5 of 6. The 6th person who got in was on my bubble. Like, they were like my number 7. And it's not because I didn't think they deserved it. It was just my number 6. I had to go with like my heart instead of my head, I guess you'd say. So Amy Adams for Night Bitch got in. I've heard she does wonderful in the movie. I'm excited to see it. But I also had heard that it was kind of falling off of, critics' radar. I mean, that's fine, whatever, that happens. But my 6th pick was 95-year-old June Squab from the movie Thelma. I mean, come on. One, she's 95 years old. The movie's good. She's great in the movie. And what a feel-good nomination to nominate a 95-year-old for a Golden Globe. She's only been nominated one other time in her career, and that was in 2014 for the movie Nebraska. Luckily, the Independent Film Spirit Awards have nominated her for Actress in a Lead Role for Thelma. Those awards don't get announced until February 22nd, so wish in the best. Had a lot of surprises, one of them being Zendaya from Challengers. She's remarkable in the film. I saw it. I'm going to do a review on it really soon. So, make sure to like and subscribe so you can check that out. She's fabulous in the movie. When that movie came out in the end of April, everybody was talking about how she's definitely getting the Oscar. Then the distributor released it on Netflix, I believe, or one of the streaming services end of September. So it's been picking up steam again, but still, nobody thought she was going to get the nomination. This Golden Globe nomination could help push her into getting an Oscar nomination. Demi Moore for The Substance, a surprise, but such a great surprise. I picked her, I was hoping, and you know what? She might actually have both old board and new board going for her, right? Old board, Demi Moore, we love you, you've been around forever, you've never been honored before, let's do this. New board's like, hey man, let's honor a horror thriller and put her in. So I think she's the perfect combination of that. And you know what? Awesome job, Globes, of recognizing a movie like The Substance. You've got Mikey Madison from Anora, who has pretty much been on everyone's number 1. The LA Film Critics Association actually gave a tie between her and Marianne Jean-Baptiste from Hard Truths. The Astra Award went to Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, but Carla Sofia Gascon won the Astra Game Changer Award. Really, this could go anywhere. You got to think Globes into Oscars. Giving my Globe prediction right now and the way things stand, my choice is Demi Moore. I mean, like I said, perfect combination, old board, new board, and it's a great movie. So that's my lockdown Globe pick. Next category we're going to talk about is always a fun one to me, and that is Best Motion Picture Animated. First off, I don't care who you are, watching an animated movie just makes you feel good. And these movies, I'm so excited for. The Golden Globe nominees for animated feature film are Flow, done by Sideshow Janus Films. Inside Out 2 from Walt Disney Studios. Memoir of a Snail from IFC Films. Moana 2, Walt Disney Studios. Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. And The Wild Robot from Universal Pictures. What a feel-good category. I seriously love the animated category so much. Here are 6 different films with completely different budgets and storylines that tug at your heartstrings or maybe just make you laugh. These movies, they are all ones to watch. Let's start with the first one, Flow. Okay, that was made in Latvia. Latvia submitted that as their international feature film for the Oscars. We will find out the 15 Oscar shortlisted international films on December 17th, so I'll make some predictions before that and then we'll talk about it afterwards, but holy cow, wow, good job Latvia. And that movie has won critically acclaimed awards like the New York Film Critics Association, National Board of Review, and that movie was only released on 2 screens. And so it's got the highest per screen average of any animated movie right now at $26,000 some odd per screen. So tells you it hasn't made a lot of money. Then you move on to a movie like Inside Out 2, which has surpassed every world record of an animated movie. Yes, that's right. It has now beat Frozen. A sequel to a first animated movie has made $1.43 billion. So did the Globes let that win because of its big amount of money? Then we have Memoir of a Snail. Cute story, reminds me a lot of Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, which I still will go down as that is one of the best animated movies. I love it. My mom didn't understand it, told her to watch it with subtitles on, much better. Still, cute, laugh, tugs at your heartstrings, Memoir of a Snail. That movie's only made $1.1 million, something like that. Moana 2, another Disney movie that I think that was released the week around Thanksgiving. So in 2 weeks, that movie's made like $396 million. Then we move into Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. Hasn't even been released yet. It comes out on Netflix December 18th. So we'll be watching that one for sure. Wallace and Gromit has a great reputation of winning awards, almost every award they've ever been nominated for. Then you have the critically acclaimed, everybody talking about, tug at your heartstring, The Wild Robot. That movie has made over $300 million. So this one, very up in the air. Ugh. I have to remember, it's the Globe people voting. Where do they want to go with this? Then you take into account old Globe, new Globe, yada, yada, yada. My choice is The Wild Robot. I want to say Flow, but I just don't know that they're going to go that international despite the international makeup of the Globe board. All right, now we're going to do the male actor in a drama and then the female actor in a drama. Fun categories. Let's see how my predictions did. The nominees for male actor in a drama are Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothée Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Daniel Craig for Queer, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. Right off the bat, 5 out of 6. So boom, I did great there. Now the problem is picking a winner, the actor category. You've heard me say it, it's not as competitive as the actress category. And that's true. You'll hear lots of pundits say that. However, I don't know necessarily how the Globes will pick this one. I didn't pick was Sebastian Stan from The Apprentice. The Apprentice surprised me with the Globes. I did not see it getting any nominations, and it ended up with 2, both in the acting category. This has a lot to do with how international that film is. Americans will not touch it. Like, it portrays Trump and everything that went on with Ray Cohen and all of that. And the U.S., even before the election, now post-election even more, are just avoiding that entire movie. I mean, Sebastian Stan wasn't even allowed to go to a Variety actors on actors Q&A session because they didn't want to talk about the movie The Apprentice. Will these two nominations in the Globes allow the Oscars to maybe consider The Apprentice? I hope so. Problem that Sebastian Stan's going to have in this category is he's also nominated in musical or comedy for A Different Man, so will he split his own votes? Adrian Brody, he won the New York Film Critics Association Award for Actor. Timothy Chalamet just won the Astros. Daniel Craig for Queer won at the National Board of Review. Gotham gave their acting award to Coleman Domingo from Sing Sing. You'll remember Gothams are the ones that gave supporting actor to Clarence Macklin from Sing Sing. Interesting note, the only nomination Sing Sing got for the Golden Globes is this one for Coleman Domingo. That is a sad state of affairs and a super big snub. Huge snub. Like, I don't know what they're thinking, but okay, whatever. With Daniel Craig and Queer, yes, this is the only nomination Queer got. However, most people didn't expect Queer to get anything other than Daniel Craig. So that was kind of expected when it came to that one. Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, not a huge surprise there that he was a nominee. He's been nominated for the other film acting ones. He hasn't won anything yet. My gut on this is going to go with Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing. I think they nominated it. It was the only nomination Sing Sing got, so I believe Coleman Domingo gets the category right here, guys. Actresses in a drama. First off, this category has always been one of those I've struggled with. Who are my 5 nominees going to be for the Oscars? I'm so torn. The Globes always kind of can go out there with like weird choices that we all want to pick but never would because they probably won't make it, and the Globes get 6. And needless to say, the Globes did not let me down. I mean, they definitely didn't let me down because we got Demi Moore in for musical or comedy, but these 6, they did not let me down, and we had some surprises. So nominees for actress are Pamela Anderson for The Last Showgirl, Angelina Jolie, Maria, Nicole Kidman in Baby Girl, Tilda Swinton for The Room Next Door, Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here, and Kate Winslet for the movie Lee. Okay, wow. I got 4 of 6 right. Those other 2, I could have put anybody in their place, and I'm happy with all of the choices. This just tells you, though, how difficult this race can be. And also, with some of these kind of unknowns getting the Golden Globe nomination, let's be watching for them to pop up on people's Oscars list. Let's talk about Pamela Anderson from The Last Showgirl. Holy cow, miraculous performance, Pamela Anderson. And you know what? The Globes aren't going to judge her on her past like the Oscars will. The Astros just gave The Last Showgirl their Best Indie Film of the Year award. You look at Pamela Anderson in that movie, no makeup, all of it just raw emotion. She's fabulous, right? I went out on a limb with Kate Winslet from the movie Lee. One, yes, she is an old Globe favorite, but the movie, and it's Kate Winslet. Also, can we point out, similar to Sebastian Stan, who is a double nominee, however, he's a double nominee in films, Kate Winslet is a double nominee. She was also nominated in actress in a leading role for an anthology limited series drama for The Regime on HBO, which she's fabulous in, so she'll probably win that. But we're not here to talk about TV. So back to the actress category. The 2 I didn't pick, Tilda Swinton from The Room Next Door, even though everybody says she's great in it. And then Fernando Torres from I'm Still Here, which, remember guys, we talked about I'm Still Here from international film that hadn't won any awards yet. Here they're nominating the actress in it. So maybe that film has a chance. I don't know. Then we've got, of course, Angelina Jolie in Maria. We have Nicole Kidman in Baby Girl. Either of those are Old Globe favorites, along with new Globes because of the movies that they are in. This is Nicole Kidman's 17th acting Golden Globe nomination. She is the second most nominated person, second only to the one and only amazing Meryl Streep. Nicole Kidman is very well liked by the Globes. People will say, well, that was old Globes. The new Globes might not vote her in. I don't know. I think the only reason she wouldn't win is simply because of the competition in this category. My gut tells me they took the risk on Pamela Anderson for The Last Showgirl, and I think they're going to give her the win. So that's my choice in this category. Next category we're going to talk about is Director of a Motion Picture. Again, they don't separate them. Musical, comedy, drama, they're all together. This one had a surprise that I think shocked everyone. So let's go over the nominees. Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, Sean Baker for Anora, Edward Berger for Conclave, Brady Corbett for The Brutalist, Coralie Farjat for The Substance, and Paula Capadilla for All We Imagine as Light. I probably slaughtered that director's name, and I apologize. But remember when I said why I pick All We Imagine as Light for my international film was because of the surprise nomination that Globes gave in another category. This was that category, and I'll tell you, it shocked everybody. The director category, I got 4 of 6 right. But you know what? I do not guarantee that I know anything about this category. It is so hit or miss. Couple of the snubs, big one, everybody thought with their love of Wicked, John M. Chu. He got totally snubbed despite winning the Astros on Sunday and winning the NBR. Ramel Ross for Nickel Boys totally got slighted, and he had actually won the Gotham Award. I will say Anora, Sean Baker and Anora, they won the Palme de Cannes at the Cannes Film Festival, and Brady Corbett for The Brutalist won a silver prize at the Vienna Film Festival. And the only directors nominated by the Film Independent Spirit Awards was Sean Baker for Anora and Brady Corbett for The Brutalist. So I have no idea what's going to happen in this category. There were 2 surprises in this category. One, Palal from All We Imagine as Light being nominated for director, and then Coralie Farjat for The Substance. I tell you, the Globes are loving The Substance. You really have to believe in her work and in that film. And so given the diverse selection of the directors and that the awards are so split, and Ramel Ross is out, John M. Chu is out, I have to say, just like Screenplay, I'm going to go Coralie Farjat for The Substance. Next 2 categories, original score and original song, when I looked online before the nominations, probably had the biggest spread of choices. People could not seem to agree on a solid 6. And honestly, I couldn't decide on my solid 6. But you know what? I wasn't disappointed with their choices, yet I definitely didn't do as well as I thought. The nominees for Best Original Score are Volker Bertelmann for Conclave, Daniel Blumberg for The Brutalist, Chris Bowers for The Wild Robot, Clement Ducal and Camille for Amelia Perez, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross for Challengers, and Hans Zimmer for Dune Part 2. All right, gang. I got 5 of 6 right, but honestly, I probably shouldn't have even gotten that many right. Again, I got lucky. All 6 choices were great. It was actually hard for me to pick the 6, and I'm happy I got 5. I did not pick Conclave, and the reason for that was just I thought the Globe's love of Wicked, that Wicked would get in there. I understand, I know what you're all chirping. Oh, you know, Wicked is more about soundtrack, but there's score to that. It's more than just the songs. And honestly, they loved Wicked, so I thought that would get in. I haven't seen The Brutalist, but I've heard amazing things about that score, so I did put that one in there. I debated putting Hans Zimmer in there, but that 1/3 old voters, along with just people's love of Dune, I slid him in there. I didn't think he'd get in, though, just because of the sequel thing, and he won for original score in Dune Part 1 in 2022, so I just didn't think they'd honor him again. Then you have The Wild Robot, which, I mean, come on, just amazing. Chris Bowers, excellent work on that. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross for Challengers. I mean, when I watched Challengers, the first 3 minutes, the first thing that came to my mind was, this is the most amazing score ever. And I almost didn't put them in because of everybody's talk about Challengers falling off the wayside. But Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross do an amazing job. There are times in that film where I think without the score, it would not be the same film. I mean, the ball bouncing, the tennis racket, their emotions, everything. And they have a history. They've been nominated 7 times in the past. They've won twice, once in 2021 for the movie Soul, and then in 2011 for The Social Network. I think that all of these people have a really solid chance. You can't forget about Amelia Perez. It's the only score that has won an award thus far, even though lots of awards don't hand out score, but it did win the Astra. And it's a Spanish musical. Like, of course it's going to be nominated for score. I go back to the way I felt in those first 3 minutes, and my gut has to go with Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross for Challengers. That's my pick. Original song, I don't know how they can even narrow it down to 6. I mean, there were a lot of good choices out there, and honestly, I'll tell you guys in advance before I even announce these ones, I only got 3 of them right, and that was pushing it, and when you hear them, you're going to know, well, duh, of course you got 2 of the 3. I'm going to give you like little 10-second clips of the songs, like after I introduce it. I recommend everyone go out on YouTube, find the whole video, and just watch them, enjoy. I also think it'll help you make your final decision. I know it did me. So here are the nominees. Beautiful That Way from The Last Showgirl. Music by Andrew Wyatt. Lyrics by Miley Cyrus, Licky Lai, and Andrew Wyatt. Compress, Repress from the movie Challengers. Music by Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross. Lyrics by Trent Reznor and Luca Guadagnino, who is actually, by the way, the director of Challengers. Just a little FYI. El Mal from the movie Amelia Perez. Music by Clement Ducal and Camille. Lyrics by Clement Ducal, Camille, and Jacques Audiard. Jacques Audiard is the director for that film, just so y'all know. Forbidden Road from the movie Better Man. Music and lyrics by Robbie Williams, Freddie Rexler, and Sasha Skarbek. Kiss the Sky from The Wild Robot. Music and lyrics by DeLacy, Jordan K. Johnson, Stephen Johnson, Maren Morris, Michael Polak, and Ali Tampa. From Amelia Perez. Music and lyrics by Clement Ducal and Camille. Wow. I mean, I've listened to all 6 of these songs now probably 2 or 3 times just to like fully get it into my ADHD brain, like what was going on, which one did I like, as they all are so very different. And okay, so those of you guys are like, well, duh, Lisa, you got 2 of 3 right because the Amelia Perez songs. Okay, cut me some slack. Yes, El Mal did win the Astra for Best Song, but come on, I got the Wild Robot one right. Does that not count for anything? All right, though, listening to the songs, feeling the emotion, putting it into the movie, even though I do love Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross for original score, I have to go with Kiss the Sky from The Wild. I know I picked Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross for original score, and I do love Compress Repress. I love everything about it, the beat. I just think the Globes will go for Kiss the Sky from The Wild Robot. And guys, when you watch it on YouTube, and you feel everything, and so that's my choice. The next award is unique to the Golden Globes. Nobody else does anything like this, and it's not something the Globes used to do. I think part of this is to try to get more audience viewers, similar to the Oscars opening up from 5 Best Picture nominees to 10. So there is what is known as the Cinematic and Box Office Achievement Award. What exactly has to happen and who qualifies for this award? Again, I did some research. Here's my ADHD synopsis for you. The award recognizes the year's most acclaimed, highest earning, and or most viewed films that have garnered extensive global audience support and attained cinematic excellence. All right, so what does that mean exactly? Really, it means how much money did you earn? You have to gross, gross, more than $150 million, and $100 million of that has to be from the U.S. And I'm sure you're asking, well, what about those movies that don't come out till like December or November? Then they have to go off of like projected box office totals. So, long story short, popular movies are chosen. And this is the one category that has 8 nominees, not 6. So here's the movies that got nominated. Alien Romulus by Walt Disney, Beetlejuice from Warner Brothers Pictures, Deadpool and Wolverine from Walt Disney, Gladiator 2 from Paramount Pictures, Inside Out 2 from Walt Disney, Twisters, Universal Pictures, Wicked, Universal Pictures, and The Wild Robot, Universal Pictures. This category is insane to me. First off, that we have an award that basically acknowledges how popular your film is, which is funny, Wicked, popular, but okay, whatever. 3 of these 8 movies are from Walt Disney. Another 3 are from Universal Pictures. And I cannot believe it. Gladiator 2 made the list, but not Dune 2. That is a huge snub. Like, huge snub. I mean, first off, Dune 2 made $700 million at the box office. I get it. Gladiator 2 just recently released. It's pushing like $380 million, so doing a great job. But it's not near as good or as popular a movie. What Gladiator 2 has going for it is that it came out the weekend before Thanksgiving, and Dune 2 came out in April. So out of sight, out of mind for a lot of people. Still should have made the list. I mean, Alien Romulus made the list. I don't know. The other interesting part about this category is that, you know, you're thinking, okay, maybe this is where they give Wicked, because if they can't decide between a Revo and Grande, they'll give them this popcorn cinematic award because, well, Wicked is amazing and it's super popular. Yet, I don't know. I mean, I get it. They can't decide. That's kind of why some film awards have what's known as like ensemble awards. I understand ensemble awards. It's like you love the movie, but you can't decide which actor or actress did the best in it. National Board of Review gave their ensemble award to Conclave, even though I would disagree that you don't have a standout actor or actress in that. I mean, you got Isabella Rossellini, you got Stanley Tucci, who, by the way, got snubbed for supporting actor. You got Ralph Fiennes, who did get a nom for, lead actor. But the reason that movie's not on here is it only made $36.8 million. And then Astros gave their ensemble award to Saturday Night, which only made $9.8 million. So they're not eligible for this award. If I had to choose my winner based on these 8, I think I'm going to have to go Wicked. I think the Globes do love Wicked. I think they might be torn, and they're going to give them this pat on the back popcorn award to satisfy viewers. This is it. We're down to the big 2. That's right. Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy, and then Best Motion Picture Drama. And then we're going to get into a few more snubs that I haven't even talked to you about yet, and surprises. So stay tuned for that, because I also want to know your guys' snubs and surprises from these Golden Globe nominations. All right. Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. Here they are. Anora, distributed by Neon. Challengers, from Amazon MGM Studios. Amelia Perez, from Netflix. A Real Pain, Searchlight Pictures. The Substance, from Mumbai. and Wicked from Universal Pictures. Love this category. All 6 of these films were perfectly chosen. I mean, they are like fabuloso. I got only 5 of 6 right, and that kind of annoys me, but my own fault. I'm going to stop listening to pundits and what other people tell me. I liked Challenger. I thought it was good. I should have put it in. I didn't have a lot to go on as there weren't past film awards except for Gotham, and Gotham actually gave their award for Best Picture to A Different Man, and that was my 6th choice, which, okay, so they nominated Sebastian Stan for it, but didn't put it in picture. All right, I'll forgive it. It put in Challenger. But Astros on Sunday gave 3 awards for film, except these nominations for Golden Globes came out Monday morning, so yeah, it would have had no influence on my decision. But Challenger won Astra for musical or comedy, The Substance won for horror or thriller, and Wicked won Best Overall. Wicked also won Best Film by New York Film Critics and National Board of Review, and it made AFI's top 10 list. I mean, Wicked is just plain popular.
Popular, you're gonna be popular.
Thinks they will probably win this category. I don't know. I'm gonna go out on a limb on this one. I'm thinking the Globes give them the cinematic box office one, like we just talked about. I don't think A Real Pain has a chance. I think that's more of an acting movie, screenplay. You know, Jesse Eisenberg, Kieran Culkin, they've got that kind of sewing up. I think people are undecided between Anora and Amelia Perez. I think, unfortunately, Amelia Perez is dealing with film Twitter backlash, which doesn't actually exist. But I think Anora and Amelia Perez go after the same type of voter. So I think they split it there. And I think the Globes try to show us who they are and make that push. And so I choose The Substance. As you can tell, I'm a real fan of that. And I love, love, love what they're going to do with marketing to push this into the Oscars. Or I should say what I'm hoping they do to push it into the Oscars. The next category, Best Motion Picture Drama. 9 times out of 10, okay, I take that back, maybe more like 80% of the time, the winner for the Best Picture Oscar comes from the drama category. The musical or comedy is very strong this year, so I would not be surprised if our Oscar winner comes from one of these 6 films. Here it is, last category, Best Motion Picture Drama. The Brutalist from A24, A Complete Unknown, Searchlight Pictures, Conclave, Focus Features, Dune, Part 2, Warner Brothers, Nickel Boys, Orion Pictures and Amazon MGM Studios, and September 5th from Paramount Pictures. Super pleased with these nominations. All 6 movies, fabulous. I only got 5 of 6 right, but I'm actually okay with that. I mean, there were some surprises in this category, some that I don't think a lot of people saw coming. I mean, Dune Part 2, I'll give it that. I did pick it. I'm a little shocked it showed up on this list and not on the cinematic box office achievement one. My overthinking ADHD brain would try to tell me is that the Globe's way of saying, well, we want to give Wicked the box office one and we're going to give you the drama win. I don't know. I'm not going to think that far into it. I also don't think that it could beat out The Brutalist or Conclave, even though those are kind of, more Oscar type films people would think of. And do they end up splitting that vote? Conclave hasn't won any film awards thus far this year. The Brutalist won the Silver Prize at Vienna, which was way early in the film viewing season, and then they won the New York Film Critics' Choice Awards. My surprise is there was no Sing Sing. Again, huge snub. Their only nomination was Coleman Domingo in lead actor. Another surprise was Nickel Boys. I wanted it here. I predicted it here. But the fact that it got no other nominations except Best Picture, that's very unusual. I don't have the stats. I'll try to find out, and then I can tweet it out later. So make sure you follow me on Twitter, Facebook, all that. I'm going to build it up, guys. I promise. So please like and subscribe. Help me on my way up. But I also would have thought it would have gone in other places, like Ramel Ross, for example, but it didn't. So What does that mean? Did they just give that award to be nice to Nickel Boy fans? I don't really know. Then you've got A Complete Unknown, which it's funny because critics are like, I bet Timothée Chalamet is not going to do so well playing Bob Dylan. And if that thing bombs at the box office, kind of like Joker 2, like it's out of all the runnings for all the awards. Well, obviously when they screened it a couple weeks ago, people must love it because Timothée Chalamet's won an award, Elle Fanning's won an award, and now it's popping up here on Best Picture for a drama. The other movie that only got Best Picture nomination was September 5. Everything I've heard about the movie is once people see it, they love it. It's getting people to see it. If we can get people to see it, they will fall in love with it. But even with that, I've still heard it will be lucky to get Screenplay. It should get Screenplay. And it wasn't nominated for Screenplay. It got nominated for Best Picture. All right, well, that leaves me to what do I predict as the winner? I'm going to go out on a limb. Haven't seen it. Doesn't come out till Christmas Day. But I think the way votes get split and things like that, I'm going to go A Complete Unknown. There it is. Those are my predictions. The best part of any awards nomination ceremony is talking about surprises and snubs. We have talked about a ton of them already throughout the different categories. There's a few more I want to touch on before I get to the biggest snub of all. Gang, I almost forgot to tell you another reason why you definitely want to watch the Golden Globes on January 5th. Nikkiglaser is hosting. She is so flippin' funny. I can't wait to see what she does with that hosting gig. Yet, during nomination ceremony, she is actually nominated for her HBO comedy special, Someday You'll Die. Now the Globes have like a best stand-up comic performance. She's nominated for that. It would be fabulous if she won the same year that she hosted. So please make sure you tune in, CBS. I'm so excited. But let's get back to snubs and surprises. We already see the surprise I love, The Substance, 5 nominations. That is phenomenal. I expected it to maybe get 2. If we were lucky, it got 5. So awesome job, Globes. Now, please, Mumbai, get behind it. Push the Oscars. The other surprises in here, The Brutalist. It got 7 nominations. It literally got nominated for every category it could. That's remarkable. Amelia Perez getting 10 nominations. That is going to just stir film Twitter up in a hurry. Awesome job. I mean, they got 2 supporting actress nominations, 1 lead actress nominations, 2 songs, screenplay, score. I mean, they did amazingly well, and that is going to ride all the way to the Oscars. I predict they will probably get 8 nominations at least. We'll get into more detail when we talk about Oscars, but I'm seeing them doing very well. And then Conclave. Conclave got 6. The only one it was lacking that I thought it probably should have got would have been Stanley Tucci. That was a snub. We kind of mentioned that earlier. The movie surprise here was Challengers with 4 nominations. I think people expected it to get 1 original score, and that would have been it. They ended up with 4, one of those being for Zendaya and Best Picture. The movie's great. Zendaya's great. I've seen it. I'll do a review on it. I highly recommend everybody to watch it. I do think it's getting a resurgence because it's on streaming, so more people have seen it. That's good news for Challengers. Don't know if that'll go into the Oscars, but we've got a month to see if it makes it to nominations. So the one snub I kind of understand is Denis Villeneuve for Dune Part 2. I mean, I understand it, but I don't understand it. I think I don't understand it because he wasn't nominated for the first one either. And by the way, he also didn't receive an Oscar nomination for the first Dune. So he got skunked by the Academy, got skunked by the Golden Globes for Dune 1. Now he got skunked by the Golden Globes for Dune Part 2. Will he get skunked for the Oscars, or will people be like, okay, enough picking on the poor guy. Let's just like throw him a bone and let him be nominated.
They ignore me. They ignore me.
Josh Brolin swears up and down that he's going to quit acting if Denis doesn't get an Oscar nomination. We'll see if that actually happens, but that is a snub. I mean, Dune Part 2 is better than Dune Part 1, and just because it's a sequel doesn't mean you should undermine what he can do as a director. Just because the guy can do it in his sleep doesn't mean that it's any less difficult. The next snubs, I don't know if I should be mad at the Globe Board or if I should just be happy and excited for myself that there are that many great actress performances this year that we can't even narrow them down. I mean, Saoirse Ronan did not get nominated for her work in Blitz or The Outrun. I get it. No one's talking about those movies anymore, but in the very beginning, I remember watching videos and reading articles, and Blitz was on everybody's radar. Now it's nowhere. Part of that is because Apple TV isn't marketing it, but does that make her any less good of an actress in them? I mean, she performed in 2 Oscar-worthy movies this year. Didn't get nominated for either. I think I'm still in disbelief and shock over the next 2 snubs. Actually, the next 3 snubs. I mean, I can't quite wrap my head around it other than saying, okay, there were a lot of good actress performances, so maybe they couldn't pick. But then I go back to overthinking and saying, well, then what made you pick the ones you did? So first one, Anjanou Ellis-Taylor for her work in Nickel Boys. I get it. She's not in a lot of the movie, so therefore people are like, well, she probably didn't deserve the nomination then if she's not in a lot of the movie. But again, I haven't seen it. I've heard remarkable things about it. I can't wait to see it. But she's in like 4 big scenes in this movie, and she like overtakes those scenes, right? And to those people out there who say, well, she shouldn't get the nomination because she wasn't in a lot of the movie, then would you take back the 1992 Best Supporting Actor Oscar from Anthony Hopkins for Silence of the Lambs? Because I hate to break it to you all, but he was only in that movie for 16 minutes. 1-6. And yet nobody had a problem giving him an Oscar. Here people are talking about not giving her a Golden Globe nomination because of her time. So I don't buy it. I think that's a huge snub.
Big mistake. Big. Huge.
Another snub from the Golden Globes, yet luckily this lovely actress has been awarded the win from the New York Film Critics Association, and she did tie with the #1 Oscar contender right now, Mikey Madison, at the LA Film Critics, is Marianne Jean-Baptiste for her role in Hard Truths. Other critic groups are acknowledging her fabulous work and her as just an overall great actress over the years. Golden Globes snubbed her. I don't know that she can come back from that. And it also hurts that Hard Truths is being distributed by Bleecker Street, and Bleecker Street does nothing with their marketing, so they're probably not pushing it, and that's unfortunate. But unless you market and send things out to the Academy voters tend not to vote for the people. I do not understand why the Globes dislike this next actress so much, Danielle Deadwyler. She is amazing. I'm sorry that she doesn't play in films that make a lot of money and are often talked about, but this year's The Piano Lesson on Netflix, it was talked about. She did great in it, and yet you didn't nominate her. You also snubbed her in 2022 for her role in Till. She was also fabulous in that. At some point, guys, you gotta make it up to the woman. She is fabulous. Danielle Deadwyler, you deserve the nomination, and I'm sorry you didn't get it. You got snubbed. You got robbed. So.
Is it your first time being around? You're doing great. Just smile, Loretta, so you don't look like you're being held up.
I loved talking surprises, snubs, old globes, new globes with you all. You've heard my opinion. I want to hear yours. When you guys went through the nominations, any big surprises, any snubs for you that stick out like mine did with Danielle Deadwyler? Maybe you agree or disagree with me. Either way, I want to hear about your snubs and surprises in the comments. Let's chat. I'm going to keep digging in all of the films and all of the categories through my Oscar-obsessed ADHD point of view. Thanks for joining, and until next time.